All right, so been here with Shamrock Dirt Work. Got a new job today. This is going to be a little video on how I like to do building pads. Don't forget to like, subscribe. There should be a subscribe button somewhere in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. So it's been staked out. We got our major corners. Got both machines here. I like both machines because the excavator is great for scraping grass, and then the skid steer is good for if I had to build up any. The tires really compact it. So the first thing I always like to do is get all this grass scraped, get the vegetation knocked out of the way, you know, the top few inches. We got a little valley down here, so we'll take a lot of this vegetation. The vegetation will just push out of the way. At the end of construction, they come in, do the finish grading, make it look pretty. So we'll just put it out of the way. Any low spots, we'll take, looks like we got a little hump in here, and we'll scrape it all the way down. So that being said, let's get unloaded and let's get to it. That's pretty simple when you have a excavator blade or dozer blade. Pretty simple to scrape this grass. Just put a slight angle on it. The angle helps to cut the grass a little better, a little easier, so the blade doesn't dive down into the dirt. You just scrape off the top a couple inches. If I don't get 100% of it, that's fine. When I go over with the skid steer, I'll scrape the spots that I missed. Get a nice row of dirt, and then it's easy. You just take that skid steer and just scoop it all the way down. Pretty simple. That's another reason why I wanted to get that larger trailer, because now I can legally haul both pieces of equipment to all my jobs, and I don't worry about, I don't worry about using two machines and price wise, because to me, to be more efficient, it's better for me to be efficient than spend more time in the skid steer trying to scrape all this. And then all this dirt, they can use all this dirt at the end of the construction phase to do the finish grading. Nicely scraped. All right, so there you go. I mean, it's pretty simple, but the biggest thing is getting this vegetation off, because over time, if it decays, you run the potential of creating a void, a pocket, gaps under your foundation, between the foundation and the soil. And anytime you do that, you run the risk of cracks, settling. So that's how I like to do these pads. So let's speed things up a little bit. So all the vegetation is scraped within my stakes. My stakes are already 10 feet beyond the pad, the foundation area. So I've measured, I have the transit set up, I've measured, and there's about a 2-foot difference between my lower area and all the way up here, my upper. So between the west side and the east side of this pad, there's about a 2-foot difference. So I have that option. I can either build all this up 2 feet to make it completely level, or I can just cut in. I can start from my lowest point and cut in completely. If I cut in, I'm going to be a lot higher over there, so I'm going to have to cut back even further for water control. And then I'm going to have a low spot down here, which has the, you know, if I bring everything down to this level down here, I run the risk of water collecting around the house. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to split the difference. I'm going to cut a foot from my high side and bring it this way. So I'm going to build this up. So as I'm cutting in one side, the east side, which is my elbow, will actually be coming down, and the west side will be building up. So I'm splitting the difference. And one, that limits how much compaction is going to be performed, and two, it's going to build this end up a little, because their type of foundation, they're going to do stem wall and footing. So they're actually going to, the stem wall is going to come up about another foot, I believe. So that's going to elevate it even higher, and then they backfill it with the granular sand, compact it. So I'm concerned about water. There's a good slope on this land anyways. So as I cut in, pull this dirt this way, build this up, it's going to come out nicely. So that I'm still going to have to push the dirt back on that east side, because I don't want water to collect against the house. All right, let's get to leveling. One of the things I've done to make my life a whole lot easier is I mounted my little receiver for my transit way down there. But the receiver's right here. You probably can't see it, but so I'll show you what I'm looking at. So there's a little triangle right here. It'll tell me to go down or go up, and it's got a function to where when I get close it'll beep once, and it won't continuously beep, but it has that function on there for the it'll beep once when I'm close, and then the range is about gives me about a 2-inch range. It'll start beeping when I'm within 1 inch of high, and if I start to go a little low, the arrow will shift to the other side. So as long as I go nice and slow, it works pretty good. So let's give it a go. There we go. So we're right on target. And then what I'll do, so I get these little rows of dirt built up, and I go across with my skid steer. I push all that dirt to the end. When the blade starts to take a slightly larger bite, I'll actually angle the blade. It helps to slice through the dirt a lot easier. It's less stress on the machine because it's a slicing action, and my blade is less likely to dive into the dirt. it, do it. Alright, so I'm done with this pad. Came out pretty good. The way I like to finish these up, get everything roughed in, I scrape it all off. The tire machine, so as I build the dirt up, I go back and forth over it with a bucket of dirt, over and over and over, and it packs it in. And then when I'm all done, because I do have tire marks and stuff, I like to back drag with the excavator. I take some loose dirt and I back drag, and it kind of takes out any imperfections. I'm gonna do some more videos, more pads. Came out pretty good, so thanks for watching, and on to the next job.